turns out I didn't need any of you guys. I couldn't. No. All right. I was one of the producers and writers of Young Justice. Young Justice.
Just some words they like.
Yeah. Cake. Banana cream pie. Puppies. Okay, so I've got a lot of people to introduce. We're here for a voice acting in Young Justice panel.
And you're going to show everybody's real as you introduce them.
Right. So we have a bunch of mics here and not so many mics down there, so I'm going to be wandering back and forth with this one. Mostly this is a Q&A, but let me introduce everyone first. First off, a few people who were listed as coming wound up not being able to make it. Tom Adcox, who played Clarion, and Jason Marsden, who played Impulse, send their regrets. Brandon Vietti, the other producer and writer on the show, sends his regrets. And voice director Jamie Thomason, and talent coordinator Curtis Kohler are on their way. So we're hoping they get here before the panel ends, and we save 2 seats at the end for them. So now I'm going to introduce everybody in alphabetical order. Didn't I tell you guys to sit in alphabetical? I forgot to do that. All right. No. Sit. So first off, Cameron Bowen, the voice of Robin, Tim Drake, and Cameron, stand up, please. The voice of Sportsmaster, aka Crusher Croc, Nick Chinlin. The voice of Iris West Allen and also one of our writers, Nicole Dubuque. Yeah, this next one's a tough one. It's he voiced Speedy / Red Arrow / the Roy Harper clone. Also Speedy / Arsenal / the original Roy Harper. Also the Guardian / Jim Harper, which was another Roy Harper clone. And Gallant Dassine. That's Crispin Freeman, everybody. The voice of Black Beetle, Kevin Grievous. The voice of Black Spider, Josh Keaton. Here's another long one. Aquaman / King Orin. Double X, Green Beetle / Ba'ar's O'Oom. Elron, and the Reach Ambassador, Phil Lamar. Already out of breath. Artemis / Tigress / Artemis Croc, also Catherine Colbert / the JL Computer, Stephanie Lemelin. Blue Beetle / Jaime Reyes, and the Scarab, Eric Lopez. Lagoon Boy / Lagan, Tempest / Garth, Icicle Jr., and Tommy Terror, Yuri Lowenthal. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. Black Canary / Dinah Lance, Amanda Spence, Ida Berkowitz, Nor Harjapti, and Red Inferno / Firebrand, Vanessa Marshall. And last but not least, the late Wally West, Kid Flash, Jason Spizak. I'm done. I'm over. Okay.
So fast. How can he be late?
All right. So we're here to talk about voice acting in Young Justice. This is really about process. And really, we prepared absolutely nothing, right? Good, yeah. Okay, so that's what I figured. So really I'm looking for questions, and then we'll all try to field them, and anyone care to be brave and start? Right there.
How many guys have a moment? Awesome. I follow you sometimes. You're awesome. Yeah! Alright.
I like the way you pick bones.
And I don't know if any of you know this answer, but I'm sure. Why the hell did you cancel the Sam episode? Yeah! Come on!
Yeah, I canceled this.
Definitely not his fault.
Here's my question though. Right when it was getting better, it was already good. So right when it was getting better, get him to take to Apocalypse, and then, I mean, dude, seriously. So is there any chance of like webisodes or something like that in the future?
Alright, well, most of you probably know about Young Justice Legacy, right? Young Justice Legacy came out Tuesday. It's a video game that is canon material. It's got a real Young Justice story in it, set during the 5-year gap between Season 1 and Season 2.
Yeah.
He's holding it up right over there, yeah! It's available on all sorts of formats, none of which mean anything to me. Anyone know what the formats are?
Xbox, PS3. It was going to come out the Wii, but they canceled it. And then 3DS and Steam.
So can you guys hear me without this mic?
No. I can't hear it.
I'll use the mic. I was hoping to give it to them because I have the loudest voice in Christendom. You guys pass this one around down here.
Yeah, if you can take Mike's down there.
Okay, so you guys will share because Jason has it too. Okay, so
He doesn't love character, so it's important.
Young Justice Legacy was produced by a company called Little Orbit. It's got a great story. It's got almost everyone sitting on this stage voice their characters in the game. It's a lot of fun. And they still have the license, so if this game sells really well, they'll make another one set during what would have been Season 3. So, buy the game. Buy it as Christmas presents. Buy it, the best way to get more Young Justice material is to vote with your wallet. There are a number of products you can buy. DC Comics has trade paperbacks of our Young Justice comics written by myself and that are also canon to the series. You can buy those trades. A new one comes out, the last one comes out December 17th, I think. But the others are out there and available. You can buy the soundtrack album. Where are my composers? Michael McQuistra and Stand up. That's 2 of our 3 composers. Chris couldn't be bothered to show up, but just kidding. You can buy their CD. In fact, I've got some to sell today if you want it. You can, but most importantly, Young Justice Legacy, because if you buy that, Little Orbit has the license. It can make another game.
Explain to us about intellectual property.
Otherwise, it's owned by this big company called Time Warner, which owns Cartoon Network, DC Comics, and Warner Brothers. They own Young Justice. We do not control the destiny of the series, and believe me, if it were up to the people on this stage, we would not. Jamie Thomason, voice we have no control. You guys have more control than we do. Vote with your wallets. Next question. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll go down the row actually. start, the question, in case you couldn't hear in the back, was as you were auditioned or cast in the show, how did you find the voice for your character? We auditioned the regulars. We didn't audition guest cast. Brandon and Jamie and I just pulled names out of our butts to find the rest of the guys. But no, but a lot of people also had auditioned for us, didn't become a regular, but were so good that we knew we had to get them on the show. And plus, also I knew a lot of these people already from previous shows. For example, Phil. So why don't you start?
Well,
We'll just go down the road.
I auditioned for Aquaman. And I thought I did a really, really good job.
You did.
I did. I really thought I did. Until I came in to record, they called and said, no, you didn't yet. But you're going to voice Aquaman. I'm like, Aquaman? No. Okay. And then I came in, and Kari Payton was there, and they played back his audition, and I was like, oh, that's the way you got it. But as far as for the character of Aquaman, it was hearing what Kari was doing as Aquaman and trying to find that sense of foreignness. But it couldn't be any other human accent. Like we weren't gonna like, hey, we're from down south, way down south. You know, Atlantis, Georgia. So it was really about listening to Greg and Jamie and listening to what Kari was doing and finding a voice that fit into that world right in between.
Okay, I'll go next. Kid Flash. That's the part that I played, right? Okay. Wally West, yeah. When you first read the lines that you have to say as Wally West, you know, the thing that always comes to mind is douche. And that's what we called it, Kid Douche.
Who's your direction?
A lot of times.
Say it like that, but just a little douchier.
Jamie coined the phrase, just be douchier. And when you read those lines, one thing that you have to remember is he's with a group of friends, and for some reason, they love this guy. So while you can be a douche, there has to be a reason why you want to have someone like that in your circle of friends. So when I was doing the voice for Wally, I thought, well, while he's sort of a ladies' man in his own mind, and he tries to be funny a lot, there's something endearing. There's an endearing quality in all that where he doesn't mean any real harm. And that was something that I wanted to engender from the beginning. And you know, you do see his tender side as you get into, you know, a lot of episodes in the series. You see that. And so, in addition to the fast, energetic pace and the douchiness, there was also some endearing quality about it. You just want to slap him, you do it and smile at the same time. That was basically why I created it that way. That's why. A lovable douche.
Oh, good. Which microphone? I'm going right. Sorry. Yeah. So, I auditioned for Miss Martian and Artemis. And Miss Martian I actually really thought about, and I did, I guess, a sweet, kind of Martian-y voice. And Artemis, I just was me. And that was much easier. And that's what I was cast at. So, she's a little sarcastic. Apparently I am also. And she's a little tough, which I think I am. The thing I had to work on, I guess, was sometimes being the superhero side. They would kind of tell me, do it again, just more like a superhero. So that was pretty much, I really wish I thought about how I was going to answer this, but you were so interesting, I just listened to you. Yeah! Instead of preparing are you preparing what you're going to say?
Yep.
See, I'm not interesting. Moving on.
And this is what I'm going to say. If we go down the line to everybody, nobody else is going to get to ask a question. So, you know, we work with Greg. You know, Greg's got an idea for the character, and Jamie, the vocal director, the voice director's got an idea for the character. And sometimes we get a picture, and then we all talk about it, and we hone in. Unless somebody's got a burning, I gotta tell my story about how I created a character.
I just want to say that
Do it.
Give the mic.
when I auditioned for the show, it wasn't Young Justice.
Oh yeah, we had a stealth program for season 2 because someone during season 1,
Wasn't me.
it was totally her, leaked information about the show. So for season 2,
So excited.
we created a fake show.
Me and Cam both auditioned for Shadow Ninja.
Thunder Ninja.
Cloud Ninja, that's what it was. I'm sorry, Shadow. It was Cloud Ninja, right? And then, but they had weird the descriptions. Like, he's a 16-year-old Latino kid, and he's a ninja. I'm like, what the? And I was like, and then it wasn't until we got in that they showed us pictures and gave us, DC's Young Justice. It was a nice surprise, nice accident.
Anybody else? Feel free, please.
I think what you will find is a pattern when we talk about it is that we audition for certain characters. Like I auditioned for Superman and Superboy, but I got cast as Red Arrow. And there's like a 2-part process where we need to figure out where our voice sits. And we all sort of know because we're talented voice actors, but where our voice sits, and that I'm probably not going to be playing Robin because I sound a little too deep for him. But then what really zeroes in is what Stephanie was saying. I just did myself, right? Invariably, what happens is it's the psychology of the character that we understand the best. That's what we tend to get cast as. So when they cast me as Red Arrow, and he's all,
It's the douche. It all makes sense now, Chris.
the lovable douche, right?
Yes. I was trying to push that part.
Yeah, because we're all trying to find out in our own way the psychology of the characters. And some of us look at characters, we go, oh, we know how that character thinks, we know what they're about, and it comes out in our read. We don't have to do something or create something with Legos. Like, it's because we understand how the character thinks that we're able to perform it in such a way, because, you know, we're under pressure, we got stuff to get done, and so we need to be able to reach for that psychology of the character and perform it well in the moment, time after time after time. So it's got to be sort of in our sweet spot.
Anybody else? Josh, how'd you get cast as Black Spider?
I got the call. I guess I look like a spider. I slept with the casting director. For the voice, I basically just went in and I had a couple of ideas, and I kind of said, well, how do you want me to do this? I have a couple of ways I can do it. And he just said, I'm sure you'll find the most spectacular way to do it.
It's not like you were green.
Not everybody got that.
And then, Kevin, how did you get cast as Black Beetle?
I knew Jamie. I met Jamie years ago, and he thought I had the voice to play the villain.
What were you thinking?
And you know, it was my first big voice acting role. And I guess what I tried to bring to it was a sense of type of condescending attitude towards everything that was, being part of the reach. He was superior to everything. So that's what I referred to, Earth. Justice. So, I had fun.
Dude, you're scaring me right now.
Condescension and girth, right?
Yes, I get you.
Necessarily.
And flowers and rainbows.
Yeah, I read myself.
Anyone else? I picked Vanessa to play Black Canary. We worked together on Spectacular Spider-Man, and I just felt she had the right vibe to play sort of, on the one hand, the sort of maternal aspect that Black Canary has for the team in season 1, but also I knew she could really kick ass as Black Canary, so that's where we went with that. Brandon actually picked Nick out, wanted Nick first for Sportsmaster.
Out of the lineup? I read for Robin. I
think one unique thing about doing these shows, it's really cool, is that you don't have to worry about what you look like, or you don't have to keep everything under control. You can just sort of, spaz out to get the right, or, be whatever. But being actors and thinking about ourselves, I think one piece is missing here. Jamie is really the man behind this show, at least from my perspective. I come in lost, kind of not knowing, and he's behind the booth, or the voice director is behind the booth, and he's on you, and he's like, more of this, more of that, no, angrier and angrier, and it's really, and he just gets you all going to wherever you need to go, and you go, and thank you, and then he's going to get what he needs, and that's a unique part of all this. And Jamie's got everything. He sees the whole show, as Greg does, but Jamie's on the front lines, really getting it out of everybody. It's a pretty cool process.
I think we speak for all actors here. And these guys want a lot of direction.
And then there's Nicole and I, who were writers on the show and used our position to...
I used to pester Greg. I would audition for everything, and I would call him in these auditions. I sung the Hello Megan song to him one time. I think he was sick of his ears bleeding, and he's like, all right, fine, I'll cast you. Just stop sending me these things.
Yeah, none of that's true. But Nicole, we just thought she had the right voice for Iris, and then I wanted to play Red Tornado initially. And Brandon wisely decided that I wasn't good enough for that. And we cast Jeff Bennett. It's hard to argue that.
Why did you have Jeff Bennett?
Yeah, it's hard to argue that I'm any better than Jeff Bennett. But I guess I was good enough in Brandon's eyes to play Lucas Carr, the civics teacher at the high school. So.
Give us a little Lucas Carr. Little Lucas Carr.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of that. Lucas Carr.
Class, get ready to turn in your assignments.
Lucas Carr!
And to ad-lib something.
The writer.
Or if
You ad-lib it, it's actually written.
The writer over here.
Just had two questions. One, is there a chance of having a complete season? Like Dr. King was like different sets, like they're spaced out to be like 4 or 5 different sets. And the other question was, did you bring Young Justice and decide you wanted to make that show? Did you with that?
The first question was, you're talking about DVDs, I assume, yeah. Whether they'll release a complete season DVD. And the short answer, well, the real answer is I just flat out don't know. I don't work at Warner Brothers anymore, and I'm not privy to that. And to be honest, they didn't tell me much even when I did work there. But I tend to think the answer is no. In other words, if a lot of DVD sales happen, that would get their home entertainment division interested in releasing more, and they might release a season set. But in order to get them interested in a property that from their point of view is sort of over, you'd have to sell a lot of what currently exists first. And the DVDs are another item you can buy also. And the second question was the origins of developing the show. And this is a voice acting panel, so I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I was aware of the Young Justice comic, but it was Sam Register who runs Walt Disney Television, Warner Brothers Television Animation, who came to Brandon and I and said they wanted something that was sort of Justice League, but younger. So how about Young Justice?
How do they come up with these ideas?
Yeah. So that was something that actually really intimidated Brandon and I, because there have been these two great shows, Justice League Unlimited and Teen Titans, and we were afraid of both those shows because they were really good. We thought, how can we carve out our own space? And so we tried to ground our show, do things that would make it feel very real, like with costuming, the way the uniforms were sort of specifically designed, things like the time and date stamps, things that would really ground it. And we came up with this idea of this covert ops team Yeah, you know, grounded things like clones and magic clarion boys and stuff like that.
Stick with the real.
Right, but you know, even amid the superhero sci-fi and fantasy, we tried to find things that would make the characters feel very real, make the relationships feel very real, and make them sort of teenagers first, spies second, and superheroes third. And that was how we developed the show. Other questions, preferably not for me? Yeah.
Yes, I just wondered, are you covered under the SAG-AFTRA contract? And also, are you working in other mediums also, other than just voiceover?
We are all SAG.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody and I would say to the folks that want to work in other mediums, that they do that. Voiceover is, in my opinion, the best medium because you don't have to sit in like a makeup trailer and you don't have 8-hour, 12-hour days, and it really is the best job in entertainment.
And you don't have to look anything like the characters you play.
Yeah, that's right. You can be on 3 shows in one block of Cartoon Network, and then they're all gone and away. That's okay. And as far as being able to play different characters, you have such a range that is taken away from you as an on-camera actor a lot of times, unfairly, but that's really how it is, and you see what you get many times. And in voice acting, we are also incredibly talented. Every single one of the people up here, I have heard them do voices that blow me away, and it's great to be able to exercise that part of your talent. And in voice acting, why would you want to go anywhere else? Because you have all that at your fingertips. So, but yes, I know there's many people up here that do.
On that note,
And she does on camera a lot.
I think we all do a lot of different things. And some of us, I mean, a lot of us didn't get into it just for the voiceover. Some of us started doing theater, and some of us started in TV and film. We continue to do that. I've seen Phil both on stage and on screen. Recently, has been in the booth with him. I was in a performance capture studio with Jason recently.
I count mocap as voice.
We're about to do that. We can't talk about it, so shut up, Steph, because apparently you're leaking things.
I'm just talking about it in general.
Stephanie leaking women.
Actually,
Wait, that's
Josh and I just did a film together. That was fun.
if anyone has something to pimp, seems like a really good opportunity. I'm not kidding. If you've got something, go for it. Anyone? Because I'm about to. Go for it.
Okay, so does anyone watch Being Human on the Sci-Fi channel?
Yeah.
Beyond that, coming up soon. Can't tell you what I'm doing though.
No!
Yeah, and I got a horror movie coming out called Where. It may or may not be about a werewolf.
Depending on whether they use the H or not.
How's it lose it? For now.
I've got a web series called Shelf Life. Several people on this panel have participated, and it's funny. It's about 4 action figures. I haven't asked you yet because you're too famous. I just assumed you would say no.
Maybe I wouldn't.
Well, maybe you guys will see her on the show. It's about 4 action figures on a young boy's shelf. It's sort of like Toy Story, but really dirty. So check it out.
Definitely would.
Anybody else?
I'm in a horror show called Where To that may or may not be about the fashion industry.
Those are both on the Homonym Network, right?
All that sounds great. I just want my 13-year-old daughter's soccer team just won a championship.
I'm going to pick my novel. My first novel's coming out December 3rd. It's called Reign of the Ghosts, and I've already written the second book. That's coming out May 13th. It's a 9-book series, and in order to get to write the 3rd through the 9th book, I need the first 2 to sell. So I am asking you, I'm begging you, A, buy it. And B, please help me spread the word about it. You know, my fear is that even if you like it, it still won't be enough. We need a lot of people to like it. So please help me spread the word. It's called Reign of the Ghost, R-A-I-N of the Ghosts by Greg Weisman, December 3rd. You can pre-order it on Amazon now. Okay, that's...
And write reviews on Amazon for his book too.
Yeah, good ones. Oh, and non-spoilers reviews. I've seen a bunch of advanced reviews. Good, bad, and lukewarm. I've seen a bunch of reviews, and almost without exception, they all spoil mysteries in the book. It's like outrageous. What is with that? So don't ask for spoilers. I'm giving you none. Not even. Yeah, way in the back there. Yeah.
Well, I was wondering, for the actors, have you ever improv for a line and have that improvisation needed to in any way, shape, or form, like a phrase?
Only Nolan North.
The question was, have you guys ever improv the line, and if so, did it make it into the show?
I don't think I ever improv it. I mean, most of the characters I played on Young Justice were not real wacky.
Oh.
Not a lot of rich ambassador like ad-libs. Aquaman making fish jokes.
I think you improv some Elrond.
I did, yes. Maybe some Elrond.
I tried to put some of my own little like Chicano flair on my character, right? And a little bit of slang. And then Jake's like, no, don't do that.
I let you improv all the time. I told you exactly what to improv.
This is why we usually don't have any data. And I'll be going for Jake. I think I might have altered a couple things on Spectacular, but not really. I mean, the writing's it's all there. How am I going to change what this guy does?
Yeah, I would say that some shows encourage that in the way that they're constructed, but Young Justice was well scripted, right? Don't you guys think the writing was fantastic? So with that in mind, I think when the more the improvisation came in, how you did little things with your character, like the way you said "sweet" or the way, you know, right. The little bits and pieces that made it human, so it's less than a whole line or a phrase or something like that, and more about the humanity of the individual character. On this particular show, I mean, some shows you're improv all kinds of stuff.
Pound puppies, I'm all over the place.
That's what they want, but this show is so well scripted. I just wouldn't see it.
And I'm terrible at improving in Atlantean, so.
I think every once in a while someone improv the line and we used it. If it's funny, it's great. And we also had a lot of fun times in the booth with guys like Kevin Michael Richardson and Nolan, and where everyone's laughing and Jamie has to herd the cats and to stop laughing.
I gotta say, one of the great things about this show was the recordings. Getting to see people and especially when you're doing a show like this where the characters are interacting with each other and you actually have to act. It's so much easier to do when you have your fellow actors there with you and you can know how they're going to say the lines and you can react, organically as opposed to just like, I'm going to give you 9 takes. I hope they match in editing.
But one of Greg's favorite things to do in animated series is on that note is to kiss and sit to. Did you kiss? Who was it? Oh yeah,
Those improv moments.
Okay, so there's a tradition in animated series that if you've got a kiss, the actor kisses their hand. It's something like this.
Just exactly like that.
And I always hated that. It sounded really unnatural. So I would have the 2 performers kiss in front of the mic. And it would freak them out. And I'd be like, you guys in live action, all these people have done at least some live action, and they've had to kiss.
Okay. Do you want me to tell them the story?
Yeah, you have to.
10% more juice. Go ahead.
He thinks he does protest too much. All right, so I read the script for when Wally first kisses Artemis, and it was a great moment. I mean, I read it over and over.
Little backstory though, you were lobbying before.
There were no secret meetings prior to me arriving, and we get there, and as a voice actor, I didn't know that that's the way that they conducted sessions on this particular show. Some shows they have you kiss your hand, you know, get the pop of the lips and the sound of a kiss of fruit, something to give you, he knows what I'm talking about, to give you, not that kind of fruit, for crying out loud. And so, you don't know, how it's going to happen. You get there, and we get to that point in the script, and Jamie goes, okay, I want you to go over to Stephanie's mic. And I'm like, mine?
Well, Stephanie's defense.
Yeah.
I was telling you to go over, so.
Yeah, that's right. Go over there.
Okay,
Right? And it was strange because I was like, my mic works just fine. Like what? Oh.